Koneva. But this time there's a wealth of detail. There are witnesses, there are strong descriptions, and there's a great deal of forensic evidence. As with Thomas Marshall, the murder made front-page headlines. It happened back in May, on Thursday, May the 22nd, in Hammersmith, West London. 12-year-old Katerina and her family had moved to Britain from Macedonia about a year ago. Her parents were here as students. Both children had settled well into local schools, and, as Dad is painfully aware, Katerina was an inspiration to her younger brother.
He missed his sister, and he can't explain how much he missed her. He has pain, and he can't explain his pain. He has shock. He can't explain his shock.
I'll be outside.
Oh, you didn't have your tea done.
Good luck.
Hey.
Every day, R.I.P took Katerina the first part of the journey to her school.
We gone on bike, on bus stop, and just the bus was coming. I said, "You're lucky. You're not going to wait a long time today." And she picked up bus. It was just normal morning.
Katerina was a gifted pupil. In a year, she'd picked up perfect English, was coming top in class, and the very day she died, she was asked to stay back after school for a few minutes to collect a commendation.
Okay, well done.
Meanwhile, back near home in Hammersmith, another schoolgirl was walking home.
The dog barked and ran to the window, and I walked to the window thinking it was my daughter coming in from school, but it wasn't. It's then that I saw this man walking along this way towards me. It was strange the way he was looking at her. It wasn't just a casual glance, it was very intense, sort of almost studying the girl. I just felt that this man was going to stop and turn, which he did.
I love maths, but...
About 20 minutes later, Katerina and a friend arrived at the far end of the road, at the junction between Benbow Road and Iffley Road.
How much homework have you got?
Loads, but don't talk to me about it. I'll see you then.
Okay, bye.
Katerina walked the last few hundred yards on her own. Did anyone else see her? Normally, at least one of Katerina's parents was home to greet her. But today, her father was held back at college for a fateful 15 minutes.
When I came near to the house, then I saw front door from the house was open. Never is open. I couldn't properly think, but just my mind told me it's burglar.
The burglar, as he seemed to be, astonished someone in a house opposite who saw him clamber out of the first-floor window.
What were you doing in my house?
You don't have time just to think and to realize what to do. But after that, I still decide to run after him.
He's got a knife! He's got a knife! Phone the police! That guy was in my house! Where? Iffley Road! Phone the police! Call the police! That man over there was in my house!
They couldn't understand what's happened. Just I was going in telephone box to call police. I saw him trying to escape.
Don't let him drive! Don't let him drive! Don't let him drive! Don't let him drive! That man was in my house! Don't let him drive! Help me! Help me!
Well, I thought he'd been mugged or something. He looked quite a pathetic man.
Don't let him drive!
Once he got in the car, then the face changed. Then he had this frenzied look.
Don't let him drive!
I then went to get the keys with my left hand. He then produced a knife.
Realizing the chase was done, R.I.P made his way back to his flat. The man, meanwhile, drove only a quarter of a mile or so and abandoned the car in a bus stop on Shepherd's Bush Road. Everyone remembers him clutching a bag as he boarded a 2:20 bus heading for Wandsworth via Hammersmith.
80.
He had what's described as a foreign accent, and the driver saw blood on his cheek and stains on his shirt.
There was a man in my house.
The man got off the 2:20 when it reached Hammersmith bus station at roughly 10 to 5. The date again, Thursday the 22nd of May. Did you see a man with blood on his face and clutching a dark-coloured bag? Meanwhile, Praice and police officers had broken down the sitting room door and found Katerina strangled. They'd tried mouth-to-mouth resuscitation, but she couldn't be revived.
It's difficult to look on her picture because you can't take it what happened. You expect any moment to come in the room and to sit with her, to talk with her. I miss her with everything. She was that energy what gave me to be alive. I'm waiting for her to come back. I will never believe what happened.
Hamish Campbell, I know you've discounted any political connection with this crime. Do you yet know what the motive is? You haven't revealed this yet.
No, we've certainly explored a number of motives, but it would appear now that this killing was sexually motivated. And whilst Katerina wasn't sexually assaulted, the strangulation was particularly vicious. She was strangled twice, both manually and with a ligature. That the motivation was strangulation, and he gained some sexual satisfaction from that act alone.
Paint a picture of the man that you're looking for.
It's difficult. We would certainly say he's probably someone who's living alone, would perhaps appear odd to people, someone who has difficulty in forming relationships with women, is aggressive towards them, probably living in council property or property which has been provided by the state or receiving benefits for.
And physically, he looked very, very much like the actor we had there.
The actor there is particularly good. We've got a lot of witnesses, we have the video fit, and the artist's impression, a man who's very short, no more than 5'4", possibly 5'3", stocky build, a foreign appearance, but may not be foreign, a tan complexion, 45 to 50 years old, with a balding head and hair at the back and the sides which was black but going grey. Very distinctive if all those factors are put together.
Now, you don't know where he was heading for. He was in a panic. He tried to get a bus one way, eventually got a bus south, and you don't know once he got to Hammersmith bus station where he went. So he could go north, south, east, west, in out of London.
Absolutely. We're not convinced of where he is, but we feel he may be a local or within the London area. He clearly would have perhaps lived in the area or worked in the area previously or still does. And we're asking for anybody in those last 3 months, what has he been doing? Which shops has he been visiting? Dentists, barbers?
And this was not a one-off. You know that in February, and perhaps other occasions too, but you know at least in February, this same man was stalking another girl.
That's correct. I mean, only 400 yards from the murder scene on the 4th of February, a 12-year-old girl was followed home, and that man rang the doorbell to try to gain entry and then started scratching at the lock. And that man returned only 2 days later. Unfortunately, the mother was in, and he tried to gain access but went away. Now, the description there is very close to this killer, so we know that he was out there then and on the afternoon, someone who's determined to get to girls.
Let's take another look at this face. And do you know him? Maybe you work for Social Security or in a bus crew, or you're his GP, you're his barber, you've seen him somewhere. Maybe he's a bit odd, a bit of a loner, whatever. Don't hesitate. He can be eliminated if you get the wrong name very, very easily with a wealth of forensic evidence. 0500 600 600, our free call number live here to the studio. Or you can call the incident room on 0181 246 0734. That's 0181 246 0734.